We want our students to be engaged. So after class, they are telling their parents that this is the best class, most fun class that they had all week long. You're the best teacher. And they're excited to participate, raise their hand, answer questions, participate in the discussion, and come back week after week. Today, I'm covering the top 3 mistakes online or Outschool teachers make when it comes to engaging their students in their classes. And most importantly, what we can do to fix it, overcome it, try something different. Mistake number 1, teaching with a slide, especially if they're overloaded with text and pictures, where it becomes a lecture for your students. That's the opposite of what we want. Think back to your college classes, sitting through lectures. It was very easy to get distracted, to check your phone, to let your mind wander. Okay, where am I going to go for lunch after this? We don't want to lecture our students. We want to have fun and engage them. So, what can we do instead? There's a fantastic site called Nearpod. It is so great to creating interactive and engaging lessons because all these cool features are built right into the site. I can add in polls, there are videos, and in your pod, there are lessons already created, so that will save you a ton of time. There are draw it slides where your students are able to draw on the slide. There's a really fun time to climb, so it's gamifying and assessments. Students are racing up the mountain as they are answering questions. So I highly suggest teaching your lessons with Nearpod. Mistake number 2 is not gamifying to its fullest potential. Games are very easy to add at the very end of a lesson for your review. So your last 10 minutes, the last 5 minutes of lesson are super fun. What about teaching with games as a part of your lesson? I have a Battleship game that I've played with my students. So a digital version of Battleship where we have the whole slide to practice. I can have teaching material on the slide, and then we can take a turn on the Battleship game. Students are giving me coordinates. We're trying to find our ships so we can sink them. And then we get back to our next practice slide. Instead of going over vocab words, this is a vocab word, this is the definition, put it into a matching game. Here's your vocab word. Let's talk about it. Let's match it to the definition. And then extend on that. Can we use the word in a sentence? I can add in a board game. So I'm practicing math equations with my students. We're practicing formulas. In between those practice problems, take a turn on a board game and roll a dice for everyone, or it can be on a team. Put your students in a team and then take a second to practice, read a sentence, that math equation, and then jump back to that board game, roll for everyone, and then get back to work. There's so much more happening than just playing a game now. They're working as a team, they're building classroom connections with each other, and games can really make your lesson stand out. If you're feeling stuck with adding games in, I do have a free gamifying starter kit. So a couple free game templates down below in the description box that you can grab and get started today. Mistake number 3, only letting a few students participate. We've all been in classes where there are just students who are excited, ready to participate, know all the answers, and they are the one saying all the answers and holding most of the discussion. So, what are some other ways we can get our students answering questions other than just raising their hand and verbally saying an answer? One way is to use the chat box right in Zoom. Have students and tell students put your answer in the chat box. In Zoom, you can also change this a setting. Instead of everyone seeing the answer, only you can see the answer. That way, students can answer anonymously. You can see what they're saying. And then they're not, oh, I see this answer in the chat box, so I'm also going to put this answer as well. You can really check their comprehension of what you're teaching. For math, a math example, I like when we have practice a problem and I want to give students individual time to work on it, I just say, give me a thumbs up when you're ready and have the answer in your head. Don't shout it out loud, but let me know when you have the answer in your head. That way, when I see everyone's thumbs up, then we can just all shout out the answer. And I'm listening. You can tell if you hear, an off answer, and then you can talk about it, reteach if you need to. They're also right in Zoom. Students have actions or access to emojis, reactions. Give me a thumbs up if you agree, thumbs down if you disagree. So utilize those emojis right in Zoom. I also really like a Nearpod for in getting all of your students to answer. So they have access to the slides you're sharing. And every single slide that is interactive, of your students can participate on that slide. You will be able to see all of their answers, but students can't see each other's answers. If you're ready to take your student engagement to the next level, down below there is that starter kit, that's gamifying starter kit. You have 5 free templates ready for you, ready to go and implement in your classroom. You just have to edit the game with your teaching content and you're good to go. There's also more information about Nearpod down below if you want to check out that cool site that's free for teachers. In my next video, I'm sharing my secret strategy for keeping students coming back. Retention is key here in building our teaching business. We want those students to come back for 6+ months. How can we do that? We're going to find out in the next video. Click on the video on my screen and I'll see you there.